Welcome to Cyberpeticum once again. This time around we're going to look at moon and its story. Whenever we look at Devaram and its meaning, there's in multiple places we have come across this moon, and I always said that moon once made a mistake, the story is long. Today we're going to look at the story in detail, in a short version, as short as possible. So once upon a time there was moon, and then there was a sage plus king. His name is Dakshan. Pretty much many of you would have known him. So Dakshan had 27 daughters, girls, and they are said to be the nakshatras in Saivism. So what happens is he wanted to get his girls married to one person with one condition, that that one person must love these 27 girls equally. So what happens is Moon was the candidate, and Moon were arranged to be married with these 27 girls. Unfortunately, at once Moon was little biased upon this one star called Rohini. 27 girls among them, so one of it called Rohini, and Moon was quite offering more love to her, and so Dakshan calls Moon and gives him a punishment. He says that you breached your agreement, so you will have your waxing and waning period. Basically he didn't say waxing and waning, he said the moon's waning period. So since you are the full moon, you will wane and one day you will vanish. So that's his punishment. So Moon gets very worried. What he does is he goes and pleads many devas like Indran and many others. Then finally he comes to Lord Shiva. So Lord Shiva, since we all have seen his characteristics, one of it is he is the most wise because he is the supreme being. So what he does is he looks at Moon and he knows that Moon is truly guilty for his act. Then he decides, the supreme being decides, okay, I will forgive you, but you will have this cycle of waning and waxing, where we see the crescent and the full moon, then he vanishes into darkness and then he starts growing, right? The phases of moon. So he gives one way out like that and he leaves him. And then when he vanished and when he starts waxing, that's the waxing crescent is what Lord Shiva is wearing on his head. So that's the story basically. So there are definitely all the Purana stories in Saivism, whatever stories that I'm saying, many can ask whether was it true, was Moon a guy, and is it possible for somebody to get married to 27 people and all. Yes, let's put the rationality behind and let's think of the moral of the story. So if you look at the moral of the story, we can see two things. The first thing is, in Saivism there is no way you can do a parigaram. Currently, if you look at the current situation, whatever dosham people say when you go to temple, they usually say, you know, you have this dosham, so what happens is you do parigaram. Basically you do like a rice ball, throw it to the cross or something, and you are done with your mistakes. Basically in Saivism we believe there's no such thing. If you make a mistake, definitely you're going to face the music. But with prayers maybe it might get lighter, but what's going to happen is going to happen. So with that said, here that is why even though Moon was guilty, truly guilty for his action, yes, God saved him from vanishing, but God left him with a reminder where he once made the mistake, right? That's why the waxing and waning is the phases of Moon is happening. So like that. So in Saivism, same goes to us in life. If we make mistake, we truly feel guilty, we go to God and plead for mercy. Yes, we will be forgiven, but we will learn the lesson. That's all. The second point is, many of Saivism does not encourage polygamy, because the role of a wife or a husband in our daily life is very different. In Saivism, the wife and the husband, the spouse, is called as Valkai Tunainalam, which means a man or a woman in marriage what they are trying to do is help one another to attain the great bliss. to attain God's wisdom, spiritual wisdom. It's not only the worldly, materialistic happiness that we are talking about. A husband should help a wife to attain certain level in spiritual path. That's very important in Saivism. So does it goes to both ways, husband to wife, wife to husband. So that for that, basically, if you get married to few people, there's no way that you could offer your love equally when it comes to your spouse. However, we can have like 4-5 kids, we have multiple kids, we have children, and the love offering that we give to kids are way much different from the love that we share with our spouse. So that's the second thing that we can learn. The third thing is the moon. Why is the moon, the placement of moon on Supreme Being's figure? That's very important. Saivism is a very unique spiritual path where we believe that our ideology is beyond words, language, culture, custom, or it is universal. That's why we say Saivism, Siddhanta Saivam is a universal thought, because it is full of multimedia. When you go to temple, as long as you know this story, when you see the crescent on top of the Supreme Being's hair, what we're going to think is, it reminds us every single time when you see him that God forgives you no matter what you do. You know, that thing, it's a reminder beyond the language, beyond literacy level, beyond, there's no limitation. You are educated or not educated, it's fine. As long as you see the moon and you know it's the moon and you know the story, go for it. You know God is merciful and he will forgive you. So that is the story of the moon. I will see you guys in other video with another symbol that God is wearing on him. So take care, have a great day. Bye bye. மேன்மைக்கோள் செய்வ நீதி விளங்குக உலகமெல்லாம் இன்பமே என்னாலும் துன்பமில்லை. Bye.